get set up here. Yeah. 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 Blessed love and blessed day. Oh, boxing world, boxing nation, fighting world, fighting nation. It's Coach Fight, and this is real life boxing. We on the live and talk some boxing. Terence Bud Crawford versus the whole PBC staff. We got JERMELL CHARLO versus Tony Harrison this weekend, the rematch. And I want to talk about Teofimo Lopez, his destruction of Richard Commey, I called it, and his future possibly fighting Vasily Lomachenko next. But y'all know, before we get into it, y'all smash on that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell icon so you can be notified when all things are being uploaded on the channel of Real Life Boxing. As we could talk about Teofimo Lopez, first, I predicted the KO of Richard Commey. I thought it would be easy work for Teofimo Lopez. You guys go back and watch the prediction video if you think I'm lying. I predicted the knockout. Yeah, because Richard Commey, you know, he's an aggressive fighter, good fighter, but overly aggressive, and I felt like it would have been really easy for Teofimo Lopez to time him with something really hard. You know what I'm saying? Time him and counter him with something really hard. And that's exactly what Teofimo Lopez did, and he did it early, and that's exactly what I figured. I felt like Richard Commey, it's real easy to bait him into a firefight. Real easy to bait him into a war, and once he starts punching, he's very defensively unresponsible. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like it would have been easy for Teofimo Lopez to catch Richard Commey with something hard and nasty really early, and that's exactly what happened. And we seen the outcome of that fight. So now we got talks of Teofimo Lopez versus Vasily Lomachenko, which I think that'll be a really good fight. Not sure if Teofimo Lopez is really ready for Lomachenko yet, but he showed that he was ready for Richard Commey. You know what I mean? Obviously his power is for real, and he's a pretty good boxer. You know what I'm saying? He showed real good composure in there. You know what I'm saying? He stayed calm and collective. He got hit with a few good shots in the first round, and he didn't, you know what I mean, falter, or he didn't, you know what I mean, budge. You know what I mean? He stuck to the game plan. He stayed focused. He stayed calm, stayed relaxed, and caught Richard Commey. Now, I don't think it'll be that easy for him to catch Vasily Lomachenko with that type of punch, but I still think it'll be a good fight. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. He has some time, you know what I mean, to get in the gym and work on some stuff. So we'll see what happens in that fight. But I think that it's a really good fight, you know what I mean, going forward. Terence Bud Crawford. I think Loma beats Toflo. Hey, Javon, what up? I just seen your message if I was coming to the gym today. I don't think so. But yeah. I think TEO, I think Loma might be a little bit too much for TEO right now. But like I said, we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez showed that he was ready for Loma. I mean for Richard Comey. So we'll see what happens in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Moving on to Terence Crawford in the Meme Machine. I didn't do a post-fight reaction on that fight because I feel like it was, you know what I mean, a lot of channels doing post-fight reactions and everybody pretty much saying the same thing. You know what I mean? Obviously, Terence Crawford could have went out there and boxed the socks off a Meme Machine, but he chose to stand there and fight. You know what I'm saying? He chose to stand there and give the boxing fans, you know what I'm saying, a good fight. I wanted T-Flow versus Haney, but that ain't happening yet. But that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's going to happen. All those guys going to end up seeing each other. They got to, you know what I'm saying? Because they're all same age, same weight class. So all those guys will see each other. You know what I mean? Like I said, Terence Crawford in Meme Machine. Obviously, Terence Crawford could have went out there and boxed the socks off a Meme Machine. Chose to stand there and fight and gave the fans, gave us a pretty good fight with some drama and some suspense, because obviously Meme Machine caught Terence Crawford with a good right hook and dropped Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? That should have been ruled a knockdown. You know what I mean? But it wasn't. But it should have been ruled a knockdown. But either way, it don't matter because Terence Crawford got up and did his business. You know what I'm saying? Got up and did his work. And like I said, he made it a fan-friendly fight. He didn't have to though. He could have obviously went in there and boxed circles around Meme Machine. But Meme Machine, he had a good game plan also, because he was really patient and really taking his time too. You know what I'm saying? He was playing the boxer and the counterpuncher. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't just a come forward fighter like he usually is. But well, he kind of fought that way against Ray Robinson too. That's why it was a draw. He could have pressed more against Ray Robinson. He maybe would have won that fight. But either way, it was a good fight between Terence Crawford and Meme Machine, and Terence Crawford got up and did his work. Rod Side, love your program. Thanks from Canada. Hey, give thanks, brothers. Or I don't really know, brother or sister, but give thanks. So anyway, after Terence Bud Crawford's master performance against Meme Machine, whether it was outboxing him or outfighting him, he's getting a lot of smoke from PBC lovers. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you know, he won't be Errol Spence fighting like that. He won't be any of the PBC welterweights fighting like that. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Ridiculous. Keith Thurman damn near got knocked out by Josecito Lopez. Sean Porter been dropped multiple times. Adrian Broner dropped Sean Porter. You know what I mean? It's boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of boxing. You know what I mean? It really doesn't matter because Terence Crawford got up and did his work. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Errol Spence was supposed to... Crawford stuck in contract with Top Rank. Yeah, but I mean, you know, that's who he signed with. You know what I mean? Top Rank was able to make the fight with PBC between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, 2 fights. So there's no reason why the fight with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, or Terence Crawford and any of those PBC guys can't be made, as far as that's concerned. You know what I'm saying? That's my honest opinion on the matter. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why those fights can't be made. Tyson Fury and Wilder is fighting, like I said, you know what I mean, for the second time. And they're on two separate sides of the street. So yeah. You know, Errol Spence was supposed to knock out Sean Porter. Errol Spence was supposed to knock out Mikey Garcia. Errol Spence was supposed to destroy Sean Porter. These dudes were saying Errol Spence was going to run over Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? These dudes saying Errol Spence was gonna run over Mikey Garcia. He couldn't get the knockout on Mikey Garcia or Sean Porter. Terence Crawford goes in there and stops Mean Machine in very impressive fashion, and he's getting no love and no props for it. I don't understand. I really don't understand. I really can't understand it. Just like I said with with Wilder and AJ. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They complain that Wilder can't box. He's knocking everybody out. He gets no love. AJ goes in there, box the socks off of Andy Ruiz, and they're complaining that AJ didn't knock out Andy Ruiz. They're mad because AJ outboxed Andy Ruiz. Like, they don't know what they want. You know what I'm saying? Porter be headbutting. Yeah, Porter's rough. You know what I'm saying? Porter's rough. But let's talk about Terence Crawford versus the PBC Fighters. I think that Terence Crawford, I think that he beats Sean Porter. I think that he possibly could be the first person to stop Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? I think that he beats Sean Porter. I think that he beats Keith Thurman. I think that, honestly, I think him and Danny Garcia is a good fight, because for the simple fact that Terence Crawford likes to get into a dogfight and Danny Garcia could punch. You know what I'm saying? It'll be interesting. Obviously, Terence Crawford could outbox Danny Garcia, but Terence Crawford likes to sit there and trade. He likes to sit there and, you know what I'm saying, show that he's a dog and show that he's tough and he's got a good chin. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that him and Danny Garcia would probably be a really good fight. Even though I think that, like I said, he could outbox Danny, but Danny got some crack. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be that fight to me would be interesting. But I think that Bud Crawford possibly stops Sean Porter. He possibly stops Keith Thurman, and I think that him and Danny Garcia is a really good fight. But I think that he beats Danny Garcia also if he's smart. And then him and Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? And to me, him and Errol Spence is a 50-50 fight. But I think that he can outbox Errol Spence. But again, Terence Crawford likes to get into a dogfight, likes to, you know, prove that he has a good chin. You know what I'm saying? So that right there actually could be Bud Crawford's. That could be his weak point. You know what I'm saying? That could be his downfall. You know what I mean? The fact that he's a dog and the fact that he likes to prove that he can fight. You know what I'm saying? When he's got the skills to just box. So that ultimately could be Terence Crawford his weak spot. You know what I mean? But either way, I think that him and all of the PBC welterweights are good fights, and I think that he possibly beats all the PBC welterweights except for Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence is the toughest fight for him at the PBC. But you know what I mean? I think that he fares well with those guys. You know what I'm saying? The talk of him, you know what I'm saying, not matching up with those guys, I think is ludicrous. You know what I'm saying? I think that he matches up really well with all of those guys and can possibly beat every single last one of the PBC welterweights. And just my humble opinion. You know what I mean? You guys tell me what y'all think, but that's my opinion on that matter with Terence Crawford and the PBC welterweights. You know what I mean? Ain't none of the PBC welterweights been performing that good, you know what I'm saying, over the past year, besides Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? You know, Keith Thurman lost to Manny Pacquiao in a tough fight, got dropped, got beat up. Errol Spence was in a tough fight with Sean Porter. Everybody thought that Errol Spence was going to run over Sean Porter. That ended up being a really tough fight for Errol Spence. You know what I mean? Danny Garcia lost to Sean Porter. Danny Garcia came back, but he had one fight this year against Adrian Granados, knocked him out. And, you know, Terence Crawford so far moved up to welterweight. He's beat Amir Khan, Benavidez, Mean Machine, and knocked out all of them. You know what I'm saying? Am I missing? And Jeff Horn, which he got his belt from, in 4 knockouts at welterweight. You know what I mean? So I think it's time for people to stop saying who has Terence Crawford fought. I was watching a video the other day, or I don't know if it was a live stream. I think it was a video, and of course in the comment section somebody is like, "Oh, who has this guy fought?" You know what I mean? The comment said that Terence Crawford might beat Errol Spence, and someone came underneath it and said, "Oh, who has Terence Crawford fought?" Like, I think, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's about time those type of questions stop being asked. You know what I'm saying? Who has Terence Crawford fought? You know what I mean? What you mean, who has Terence Crawford fought? He's like the most decorated welterweight. You know what I mean? He's the most decorated welterweight. Like, what you mean, who has he fought? You know what I mean? World champion, two different weight classes, undisputed. What do you mean, who has he fought? I think it's time, like, we need to start weeding out those type of comments and those type of fans, because those are just haters. You know what I'm saying? Or uneducated fans of the sport that are just listening to, you know, some other people trying to spread an agenda or trying to set a certain agenda. It's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Absolutely ridiculous. Terence Crawford, obviously one of the best welterweights in the world. That's why we want to see the fight with him and Errol Spence. You know, they want to throw Sean Porter in there. Throw Sean Porter in there. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind seeing that fight. I think that it'll be a good fight, but I still think that Terence Crawford would stop Sean Porter. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean on that matter. You know, maybe they feel like he didn't fight as smart as he should have against Mean Machine, but like I said, he's a dog. He got caught with a good punch, and he wanted to return the favor and show that he could stand in there and fight. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence, he didn't fight the best fight against Sean Porter. He could have went in there and boxed against Sean Porter and probably had a much easier fight. But he didn't fight a good game plan against a good game plan against Sean Porter. Porter and Crawford are never gonna fight. Yeah, maybe they won't. You know what I'm saying? I hear they're good friends. You know what I'm saying? So, but they're making a lot of noise. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of talks about that fight. That's why I'm speaking on it. But yeah, I heard them say that they're good friends. But people are still pressing. You know what I'm saying, for that fight. I heard Bomac say it could happen. You know what I mean? But who knows? Terence Crawford and both Sean Porter said that they're good friends. So they ain't really looking to fight. But I think that Terence Crawford would stop Sean Porter if they did. Shit, he might not end up fighting no PBC welterweights. You know what I mean? But I do think that the fight with him and Errol Spence is gonna happen because it's just too much money in that fight. I agree. Spence is very overrated. I agree. I mean, I don't think that he's over. I don't think that he's overrated. I just think that, yeah. Yeah. I don't think that Spence is overrated. I just think that, you know, he's got his fans, his fan boys, you know what I'm saying, as they call it, the fanboys. You know what I'm saying? It's the fanboys. You know what I'm saying? He's good, but still doesn't have the skills to beat Manny. Yeah, I don't know if he beats. I don't know if the Manny that fought Keith Thurman. I said this in previous videos. The Manny that fought Keith Thurman, I think that he gives Errol Spence problems. The Manny that fought Keith Thurman, I think that he gives any of them problems. I think that he gives Terence Crawford problems, any of them problems. Manny is a beast, you know what I'm saying? But me personally, I think that if Terence Crawford goes in there and sticks to the game plan, I think that he has the skills to outbox Errol Spence, to beat Errol Spence. But like I said, Terence Crawford likes to go in there and stand up and bang. You know what I mean? So in that aspect, you never know what's gonna happen. But I think that he has the skills to outbox any of the PBC welterweights. But he likes to switch stance. He likes to, you know, him and Errol Spence are the same. You know what I mean? Errol Spence against Mikey Garcia, instead of going in there and bulldozing Mikey Garcia, he wanted to show that he could box. You know what I'm saying? So he went in there and boxed Mikey Garcia instead of going in there and bulldozing him. Then against Sean Porter, that's where he should have boxed. He goes in there and he tries to bulldoze, you know, tries to fight with Sean Porter. It makes it a much more difficult fight when he could have just boxed Sean Porter. So same thing with Terence Crawford. He likes to go in there and get into slugfest instead of just boxing and making it easy. You know what I'm saying? And if he does that against Errol Spence, you know, trying to trade power with Errol Spence, you never know how those shots, you know what I'm saying, are going to affect him, because Mean Machine did drop him. You know what I'm saying? People are saying Mean Machine hurt him multiple times. I don't think that. I don't think Mean Machine hurt him multiple times, but I think that one shot that he hit him with, he buzzed him with that one, and that one definitely dropped Terence Crawford. So yeah, you know, it all depends on how Terence Crawford goes in there and approaches the fights. Man, the fight against Mikey looks set up because he came out like a damn beast against Porter. I agree. I've said that in previous videos. You know what I mean? I've said that in previous videos. People say, oh, Errol Spence didn't knock out Mikey Garcia. I'm like, bro, you really think that Errol Spence couldn't knock out Mikey Garcia if he wanted to? You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to knock out Mikey Garcia. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, they didn't want him to beat up Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want him to hurt Mikey Garcia. Cause like, come on. If Errol Spence would have went and fought Mikey Garcia the way he fought Kell Brook and the way he fought Sean Porter, he would have killed Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? And people can't tell me like, oh, he was scared to get hit by Mikey. Look at my bullshit. He wasn't scared to get hit by Mikey. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to knock out Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many interviews he says, oh, he was trying to knock out Mikey Garcia. He wasn't trying to knock out no Mikey Garcia. He would have killed Mikey Garcia. If he fought Mikey Garcia how he fought dude from England, Kell Brook, and how he fought Sean Porter, Mikey Garcia would be a dead man. You know what I'm saying? Mikey Garcia would literally be a dead man. He would literally No, seriously though. And then I don't know, man. Certain things like I don't say because I don't, you know what I mean? I try to stay like away from the bullshit, but yo, I don't, like, come on. Be like realistic and like serious with yourself. You really think that Errol Spence couldn't knock out Mikey Garcia? You really think that Errol Spence couldn't knock out Mikey Garcia? Y'all really think that Errol Spence couldn't knock out Mikey Garcia? He went in there, that was like a glorified sparring match. Like they was just sparring. He wasn't really trying to put hands on Mikey Garcia, dude. Mikey Garcia would have been dead. Mikey Garcia would have been dead. Would have been the worst beating that he ever got in his life. He would have been dead. You know what I'm saying? And that's why at first, Robert Garcia and them, that's why they didn't want him to take the fight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all crazy? Errol Spence would have murdered Mikey Garcia. Murdered Mikey. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to Mikey, but come on, man. Come on, man. If Adrian Broner would have let his hands go, Adrian Broner knocked out Mikey Garcia. And like I said, no disrespect to Mikey, you know what I'm saying? Because I like Mikey, but I'm just saying, Adrian Broner would have let his hands go. Adrian Broner knocked out Mikey Garcia. So if y'all think that Errol Spence couldn't knock out Mikey Garcia, y'all got to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia the way he fought Kell Brook and Sean Porter. Mikey Garcia would be a dead man. And like I said, no disrespect to Mikey. I don't know why Robert wants his brother to fight Pacquiao, because he knocks him out. I agree. I don't even know why anybody wants to see that fight. I don't want to see Manny against Mikey Garcia. First of all, Mikey don't deserve that fight. Second of all, I don't want to see that fight. Manny's gonna destroy Mikey. Like, come on, Manny's gonna destroy Mikey. You serious? Manny's gonna absolutely destroy Mikey. Nobody want to see that fight. I don't know why people want to see that fight, but I don't want to see it. I think that whoo, I think that Manny does a job on Mikey Garcia, really. Needs to be Spence or Porter or Crawford versus Manny. Spence, Porter. Either Spence or I don't really think that Porter deserves the Manny Pacquiao fight. And they're saying they're not gonna fight Sean Porter anyway because Sean Porter, you know what I mean, he was a long time sparring partner of Manny Pacquiao. I think that Manny against Danny is a good fight. I think that Manny against Danny is a good fight. And Manny be hopping around and bouncing and doing this thing, but Danny Garcia got really good timing and he could crack. You know what I'm saying? So I think Danny and Manny would be a good fight. Now he knocks Danny out also. You think he knocks out Danny? Hey, Danny never been knocked out before though. You know what I'm saying? Danny's tough. He would have to watch out though, because Danny is, especially the No, I know. No, I know he's never not. No, I said, but oh, you said he's never fought Manny. That's why he's never been knocked out. I think that Manny would have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Especially the southpaw, orthodox stance, and you know Danny likes that overhand left hook and the overhand right hand. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he got good timing and good power. So Manny would have to be careful. Obviously, Manny's pressure and his pressure and his bounce is hard to offset and it's hard to time. You know what I mean? But I think that'd be a good fight because Manny would have to be up. You know what I'm saying, for 12 rounds. You know what I mean? Slowing down, he might have some problems. Hey, I'll make sure y'all have smashed on that like button. Hey, we got JERMELL CHARLO versus Tony Harrison this weekend, and I'm excited for that fight. You know what I mean? I'm gonna start dropping videos, fight predictions, fight breakdowns on that fight. So you guys be aware. Like I said, I'm excited for that fight coming up. Very, very, very excited. I do want to see Maypac too, just to see him beat Mayweather. I think that fight is gonna happen. I think that fight is gonna happen. I think that Maypac 2 is going to happen. That may be the last fight of Manny Pacquiao's career, but I do think that fight is going to happen. You think Charlo's gonna lose? You want Charlo to lose? I can't tell y'all my fight prediction right now. I can't tell y'all what I think right now because I'm gonna do my fight prediction. You know what I mean? But I don't think I don't, but I think he will. It's gonna be a good fight. Like I said, I can't tell y'all who I think is gonna win that fight. You know what I mean? But I do think that Charlo won the first fight. I do think that Charlo won the first fight, even though the Tony Harrison got the victory. I don't think that Tony Harrison won that fight. I thought that that JERMELL Harrison won that fight, and I didn't even think it was really close either. You know what I mean? I think I may have scored that fight like eight rounds to 4. I was just one of those ones who thought that Tony Harrison just didn't do enough, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he countered Mel a few times, you know what I'm saying, with a good jab that snapped Mel's head back. Or he hit him a few times with a nice 1-2. But I just don't think that he did enough. You know what I mean? Second of all, for every one punch that Tony Harrison hit JERMELL Charlo with, JERMELL Charlo hit him with like 3 or 4 punches. You know what I'm saying? And that's the honest to God truth. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could go back and watch that fight. You know what I'm saying? For every one punch that Tony Harrison landed, Mel landed like 3 or 4. You don't think that Mel won the first fight or Tony Harrison? Yeah, I don't think that Tony. I mean, you know, and there's people that actually says that Harrison, that they're like, yeah, he won that fight. I'm like, yo, I've watched that fight so many times, and you know, if you guys been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know that every time fights are like, you know, every time fights there's controversy in the decision, I always go back, you know what I mean, and watch the fights, and I try to give the other side the benefit of the doubt. And watching that fight, I just could not see where Tony Harrison won more than like 4 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Not even 4, because I think when I scored it, I even gave him a few rounds that were like swing rounds. So a few of the rounds that I gave him could have went to JERMELL Charlo. You know what I'm saying? But I think I gave him like 4 rounds. And I just don't see where people could see how Tony Harrison won that fight. Countering with a jab every once in a while, landing a little 1-2 every once in a while JERMELL Charlo was pressuring him all fight, and JERMELL Charlo was landing, you know, hard shots of his own. He even hurt Tony Harrison like 3 or 4 times in that fight. You know what I mean? He hurt Tony Harrison. So I can't see where people give Tony Harrison that first fight. But either way, it's caused a lot of it's caused a lot of animosity between the two. And the thing about this is that in the first fight, there was really no animosity in the build-up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were really cool and respectful towards each other in the first fight. You know what I'm saying? There was really no animosity in the build-up. But in this fight, being that JERMELL Charlo lost, he said at the end of the fight, when they went and said, you know, their piece to each other, that Tony Harrison told him, oh, you got that, you won that. And then when the decision was given to Tony Harrison said, oh yeah, he thought that he won the fight. And JERMELL Charlo didn't like that because he said, oh, you told me that I had it. You know, whatever. A bunch of drama. But like I said, either way, they've built up a great amount of animosity towards each other, and it's made for a very interesting, it's made the buildup of the fight very interesting. Their press conferences have been extremely entertaining. The post-fight press conference for the first fight, they were supposed to fight in June of this year in the summertime, so there were press conferences for that fight, and that was pretty entertaining. And then they did a face-to-face on PBC Fox. That was entertaining. They had a press conference for this fight, for the fight that's this weekend coming up, and that was entertaining. And it's the fight should be good. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with Tony Harrison winning the first fight in the fashion that he did, it's led to a lot of drama. a lot of entertainment between these two, man. You know, some people say that uh, Tony Harrison has been living in Mel's head rent free, but to me, it looks like Mel is in Tony Harrison's head now. You know what I'm saying? Salutations, my beloved brother. Peace and blessings to the boxing community. The Shy, peace, peace, peace and blessings. Give thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, but to me, it looks like JERMELL CHARLO is in Tony Harrison's head now. You know what I mean? The face to face that they did on Fox was pretty entertaining. You know what I'm saying? And it was interesting to see them get to sit down face to face in an intimate, you know, setting. JERMELL CHARLO pressing Tony Harrison about faking his injury, and Tony Harrison really having no answers for it. You know, who really is overrated is gonna get knocked out as soon as Lomachenko. We gotta see it. We gotta see it. We gotta see it. Like I said, I don't think that Loma is overrated either. I just think that the fanboys and the way that ESPN is presenting them is kind of, it's all of them. You know what I'm saying? The Lomachenko fanboys, the way ESPN is promoting him, trying to take his loss off of his record, and just all of that BS. You know what I'm saying? But as far as his boxing skills, I think that he's a really good fighter. JERMELL is going to hurt that boy. The first fight should have been a draw. He didn't take that belt. Yeah, we was just talking about that before you got in the stream. I thought that JERMELL CHARLO won the first fight easily, 8 rounds to 4. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think it was as close as a draw. You know what I mean? I don't think the first fight was nowhere as close as a draw. I don't think that Tony Harrison did enough. Like I said, he countered JERMELL CHARLO a few times with a couple jabs, you know, 1-2s. Like, he landed in if you watch the previous my videos that I've done about this fight in the past, yo, Tony Harrison, the only thing that he threw in that fight was a 1-2, a 1-2-3, and a 1-2-3-2. So that's a jab, right hand, a hook, and a right hand. First of all, he only threw maybe one 4-punch combination. That whole fight was a 1-2-3-2, and then I think he threw a left hook to the body, and that was somewhere like in the middle to late rounds. Other than that, all he would throw is a 1-2, and he would throw a 1-2-3, and he hardly ever hit JERMELL CHARLO with a left hook that whole fight. You know what I mean? And I felt like people didn't give JERMELL CHARLO enough credit for his defense in that fight, because Tony Harrison almost never hit JERMELL CHARLO with a left hook in that fight. All he threw was a 1-2, and every time, sometimes he would miss all 3 punches, the 1, the 2, and the 3. JERMELL CHARLO was slipping, rolling. Tony Harrison, his offense was so basic in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Just a 1-2 or a 1-2-3. He's not creative with putting his punches together like a Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? Like how creative Lomachenko is with his punch selection and his punch output. This dude's punch output was like amateur, dog. Just like 1-2-3, 1-2-3-2. He wasn't hardly throwing no uppercuts. You know what I'm saying? No, Tony Harrison, he was just fighting mad basic, and he was fighting mad scared in that fight. Don't you think that CHARLO should have attacked the body more instead of the head? Yeah, I don't think that CHARLO fought the best fight in that fight, because I think he could have just boxed. He didn't. He worked behind his jab, but he's loading up on his right hand. I talked about this in one of my previous videos. He's throwing his right hand, and his right hand is not coming right after his jab. Like, you see how Deontay Wilder hit Luis Ortiz with that right hand? Whack. The right hand has to come right after the jab. Tony Harrison JERMELL CHARLO is throwing his jab and then loading up on his right hand, so it's taking too long to come. You know what I'm saying? That's why Tony Harrison is always able to avoid it. And yeah, again, no body work. He's working behind his jab, but there's no him also. There's no creativity in it. He's not going up and down. He's not changing levels. He's just throwing the jab. Even if he throws the jab to the head and a right hand to the body. You know what I mean? I think that JERMELL CHARLO could have been more creative in his attack, but he was just headhunting, just trying to knock Tony Harrison out. You know what I mean? And that's where he went wrong, and that's where he left himself open to be able to be countered by Tony Harrison the few times that Tony Harrison did counter him, because people try to make it seem like Tony Harrison was just countering him with hard shots the whole fight, and that's not true. Tony Harrison hit him with some good hard counters a few times, you know what I'm saying? In a 12-round fight, like 3-4 times, that's not enough. But yeah, I absolutely think that JERMELL CHARLO should have fought better. You know what I'm saying? He was just trying to knock Tony Harrison out, not being creative, kind of the same way how Deontay Wilder fought Tyson Fury in their first fight. Deontay Wilder was just throwing his jab and just winging his right hand, cocking it back. You know what I'm saying? Not like how he was throwing it in the Luis Ortiz fight. The Luis Ortiz fight, he's throwing that right hand, whack, whack, right after the jab. In the first fight with Tyson Fury, he's just winging, and that's the same thing that Charlo was doing. You know what I'm saying? Not being the creative in his tack, just, you know, just being overzealous instead of just boxing and letting it come to him. Tyson Fury is gonna win that rematch. I don't think so. I don't think that Tyson Fury is gonna win the rematch. I think that, and this is the reason why I don't think that Tyson Fury is going to win the rematch. Tyson Fury, he should have been D3 the Boomman salute. Tyson Fury, he should be in training camp right now. Not necessarily in training camp, but he should still be focused on boxing. He's got way too much else going on, you know what I mean, outside the WWE, MMA. Like, he ain't focused on boxing, you know what I'm saying? That's why you see they fired his trainer, Ben Davison. You know what I'm saying? That's why they fired this trainer, because his dad don't like Ben Davison, and his dad is like, yo, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Y'all are in WWE, y'all are in UFC. Yo, we got business to take care of in February. You know what I'm saying? This ain't it's not like it ain't that far away. You know what I'm saying? We the fans, we thinking, all right, they're in February. But look, we about to be in January and then February. How long is Tyson Fury really going into training camp for? You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder just came out of a training camp and had a fairly easy fight against Luis Ortiz. Gonna go relax for a month and then go right back into training camp. Tyson Fury is a dead man, I think, in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Especially, yeah, exactly. Fury's not focused. Especially, we see that Wilder is getting better. He's straightening out the right hand. You know what I'm saying? He's getting better. So I think that Tyson Fury is a dead man in that fight. But we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? His new trainer is dude from Kronk's gym. So we'll see what happens. I don't think that's enough time to. I don't think that that's enough time, you know what I'm saying, to make Tyson Fury that much better or that much offensive. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes from the Kronks are offensive trainers. You know what I mean? So I don't really think that that's enough time to add that much to Tyson Fury's game. But on the strength of that, yeah, he hasn't been focused. He got too much else going on. You know what I'm saying? He's in WWE playing around with those dudes. And that shit in itself takes a toll on your body. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we know that wrestling is fake and shit, but yo, like I said, that shit in itself takes a toll on your body. Wilder's right hand is a problem to solve. It definitely is. You know what I'm saying? And if he keeps getting better, straightening it out. I mean, like I said, y'all see in the Vern fight how fast it came, and in the Ortiz fight how fast the right hand came. So it's gonna be much more difficult for Fury to get away from that shit if Wilder keeps throwing that shit straight down the pipe like he has. Andy won't have to worry about him fighting again for the belts because Joshua won't beat Deontay Wilder. Yeah, but Wilder might give him a shot. I'm hearing that Wilder might give Andy a shot for the titles. But yeah, Tyson Fury doing too much, man. You can't, you know what I mean? He's just, remember Fury's just coming off of a layoff. He's still trying to get his shit back. You know what I mean? And it's not like he's been doing the best in his last few fights because Otto Walling was putting hands on him. You know what I'm saying? Had Tyson Fury shit all cut up and everything. So Indy is a way better fighter than Joshua. Do you consider Bud pound for pound? Yeah, I consider Bud pound for pound. Number one, number one, yeah, man, I gotta, yeah. Bud is pound for pound, for the simple fact that, for the simple fact that Bud is for the simple fact that Bud is knocking everybody out. You know what I'm saying? He's had 4 fights in the welterweight division, and he's knocked all of them out. You know what I mean? I can't give it to Canelo for the simple fact that Canelo is eating. Even though I like Canelo, you know what I'm saying, and he's doing a lot. He's you know, for the simple fact that he was on the PEDs, you know what I'm saying, and I honestly think that he probably still is. Yeah, I mean, especially when the WBC has to ask VADA to allow higher levels of clenbuterol. You know what I mean? So, like, it's hard to rate Canelo with that. But I got to give it to Bud Crawford, man. Bud Crawford, he's calling for the smoke from everybody. He's not ducking no smoke. He's knocked all his opponents out in the welterweight division. So, hell yeah. I'm saying? How y'all think Keith Thurman right now would do against Mean Machine? Who gets stopped? Thurman gets knocked out. DT3 said a draw. If the only thing about Mean Machine is that even though he was fighting good, I noticed that, and even Coach Kill from Kill's Corner, me and Killer was watching the fight together. I noticed that even in the round that he hurt Terence Crawford and even in the round that he dropped Terence Crawford in, that round, when Terence Crawford got up, I noticed that Mean Machine was already like, oh, shit. Terence Crawford was breaking him down. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford was breaking him down early. Like, every punch that Terence Crawford hit him with, it was like a video game. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time he got hit, you just see more life. You know what I'm saying? Like, more energy coming out of him. Whereas Terence Crawford almost seemed to be getting stronger as the fight went on. But Mean Machine, every time he got hit, it was like life was coming out of him, like a video game. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mean Machine, his body language, every time the bell rang and he's going back to the corner, he's looking at his coaches like, damn, like shit, like, what did I get myself into? Even the round that he dropped Terence Crawford in, if y'all go back and watch that fight, even that round that he dropped Terence Crawford in, Terence Crawford came back and beat his ass the rest of the round, and he was like, damn. But will Bud do that to Porter or Spence? I think that Bud possibly stopped Sean Porter. And Spence, I think that Bud outboxes Spence. But Spence, the thing with Bud is that I think that Bud outboxes any of the PBC welterweights. You know what I'm saying? I think that Bud outboxes any of the PBC welterweights. But the thing with Bud is that Bud likes to fight. You know what I'm saying? So if DG the roommate say y'all tripping, Porter will upset Crawford. Nah, I don't think so. I think Crawford, just like Danny Garcia and Terence Crawford, right? I mean, not Danny Garcia and Terence Crawford. Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, right? Sean Porter beat Danny Garcia, right? But Danny Garcia was touching Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? He was touching Sean Porter. And if Danny Garcia, if he was able to adjust a little bit earlier in that fight, you know what I'm saying? He could have possibly stopped Sean Porter to me. Because he was hitting Sean Porter with some shit, but he just adjusted a little bit too late. I think that Terence Crawford, it would be that same type of fight. Terence Crawford in Sean Porter, because Sean Porter, Terence Crawford would catch him. Terence Crawford would catch him with too much. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford would catch Sean Porter with too much. I ain't even got started yet. Yeah, keep talking. Yeah, Terence Crawford would hit Sean Porter with like, yo, look it. Broner knocked down Sean Porter with one left hook, with a single left hook. You know what I'm saying? So just think about that. You know what I'm saying? Broner knocked down Sean Porter with a single left hook. You guys, I disagree. It's cool. It's cool to disagree. The problem with Bud is he can be lured into a shootout. I don't know what's Bud's shit. That's the only thing that I'm saying. You know what I'm saying is that Bud, he likes to fight. You know what I'm saying? So he wants to stand in there and trade. You know what I'm saying? Might not be the best thing for him to do with like Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Or even Errol Spence. Even though I think that he could take Errol Spence's punch. I don't think that Errol Spence is like a knockout puncher like everybody, at least like those guys say he is. I'm saying I don't think that Errol Spence. I think that Bud is a harder puncher than Errol Spence. But I agree. Bud can be lured into a firefight. But I mean, he likes that shit. You know what I'm saying? Spence wears you down, but he wouldn't be able to do that to Sean Porter though. I mean to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford could box circles around Errol Spence if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? If that was the game plan, to me, Terence, I want to see Bud versus Thurman. I think that Bud stops Keith Thurman. Man, S salute. I think that Bud stops Keith Thurman. At least the Keith Thurman of now. You know what I'm saying? I think that Bud stops Keith Thurman. And I think that Bud stops Sean Porter. Yeah, but once Bud gets tagged by Spence, it's going to be a war. I agree. Errol will be out for a while. I think he's really hurt or mentally trying to get better. Matt S. I agree. I agree with that also. I'm saying I don't think Errol Spence coming back no time soon. I don't think Spence coming back no time soon. But even if in the meantime, it'll be nice to see Bud against some of those PBC welterweights, man. It'd be real nice to see Bud against some of those PBC welterweights. I think Bud stops Sean Porter, stops Keith Thurman. What do you think about the kid Victor Ortiz? Victor Ortiz is good. What do you think about Floyd trying to fight? Floyd should retire. I like Victor Ortiz. That's he's in Mikey's camp, right? He's trained by Robert Garcia, right? Oh, who you think Floyd is trying to fight? Floyd, I think he's gonna try to fight an MMA fighter and then Manny. Best of the best. I feel like we can't even say that Spence would or can do to anybody until he shows us maybe in a tune-up fight that he is still good. Lord knows what he done tweaked out of place. I agree. I mean, when Errol Spence does come back, he's not just gonna jump in there against a Keith Thurman or against a Danny Garcia. You know what I mean? Or Terence Crawford. He's probably gonna take one or two tune-up fights. Pissed Tank moved up. I wanted to see him and Tevin Farmer. I need that match just like the Bud versus Errol. Tank and Tevin Farmer, I don't know. I think he would destroy Tevin Farmer. I want to see Tank more against like Lomachenko and Devin Haney and those guys. Floyd should fight Thurman. That's the safest path. Hell yeah, he ain't gonna fight Keith Thurman. Yeah, I'd like to see Tank against like Loma, Devin Haney, even Teofimo. Even Teofimo. But I think Tevin Farmer. I think Tevin Farmer is just too small for Tank. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have any power at all. You know what I mean? He wouldn't be able to keep Tank off of him. Like Tank wouldn't respect him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's got no punching power. He's tiny. Devin Haney, he's tiny. Tevin Farmer. Devin would hurt Loma, Tank, and Teofimo. I disagree. I think Devin. All right, against all three of those guys, I think that Devin Haney's issue. All right, I think that he gives. Those are three good fights for Devin Haney, but I still think that Devin Haney is a little. I still think that he's a little green. You know what I'm saying? I still think that Devin Haney is a little green. He still has to I think he still has to work on his offense. You know what I mean? I think his defense, his movement, everything is on point. You know what I'm saying? As far as I think his offense, needs to be better. When you look at what Teofimo did to Richard Comey the other night, you know what I mean? I think that Devin Haney could catch Richard Comey with the same shot, but would Devin Haney's shot affect Richard Comey like Teofimo's shot? You know what I'm saying? I think Teofimo has world-class power. Even Ryan Garcia, I think Ryan Garcia has world-class power. I think that Devin Haney is more he's more technically skilled than Ryan right now, but I think that Ryan's power is world-class. Loma, I think Loma and Devin Haney would be a good fight, but I think that Loma would still give Devin Haney problems. It's hard to say that Devin Haney would just, I like Shakur, but I feel the same way about Shakur. You know what I'm saying? They're very good boxers, but I think that their power needs to be developed more, especially when you got punchers like Teofimo Lopez and punchers like Ryan Garcia in the division. And Teofimo Lopez not just a puncher, like he can actually box. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia's got pretty good fundamentals also. Teo has problems with guys with long reach. Yep, I agree. I know. To me, it'd be really interesting to see how Devin Haney is. Obviously, his jab. His jab is the best offensive attribute that he has. But it'd be interesting for me to see how he deals with Lomachenko's movement with Lomachenko, because Lomachenko ain't just gonna stand there. Like, he's got how his movement, his southpaw. Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see how Devin deals with that. It'd be interesting to see how Loma deals with Devin's jab, because Devin's got a hell of a jab. Tank and Loma, I think. Banco Boxing salute. I'm picking CHARLO due to Harrison's layoff. I got to do my fight breakdown and prediction, so I can't tell you guys who I'm picking in that fight. But like I said, I thought that CHARLO won the first fight. So Wilder versus AJ, who you got? Ooh, I got Wilder inside 3. I think that it's a tough fight for obviously, you know what I'm saying? Wilder lands the right hand, he could knock AJ out. But I think that AJ is able to give Wilder problems also. The thing is, Loma is like Bud. We won't know how good Loma is until he finds David. I agree. Haney will be beat at 135 if he ever dares to get in there with Loma or Teofimo. Maybe. I'm saying maybe. But I don't think that I don't think that I don't think that we're gonna see Devin Haney in too many big fights at 135. He's probably gonna move up to 140 real soon. And if Harrison had a real injury, he might not be able to move like he did in that first fight. I agree with that also. If Tony Harrison had a real injury, he ain't gonna be able to move like he did in that first fight, because in that first fight, he was doing a lot of moving. You know what I'm saying? Way more moving than he was doing punching. Yeah, but I don't think that Tony Harrison won the first fight. I don't think it was a draw. You think Adrian Broner is done, even though he's a character now? No, AB is not done. Adrian Broner just did it. Y'all look for it. It's on Ellie Setback's page. He was on FaceTime with Ellie Setback and Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia and Ellie Setback is in the car driving exactly where Ellie and they're talking to Adrian Broner for a long time too. It's like 10 minutes. And it was pretty good. It's pretty entertaining. I like AB. And Adrian Broner and Robert Garcia were going back and forth. And AB said he's going to beat one of Robert Garcia's fighters. But no, Adrian Broner is coming back in 2020. And he's been in the gym and he's been training because he looks in pretty good shape. You know how when AB is out of the ring, he usually gets fat? Well, he's not like that now. I seen him. He was with Tank the other day when Tank and Gamboa did their press conference, and AB was in pretty good shape. You know what I mean? The stomach wasn't there. He said he's coming back. Yep, and he's been chilling too. He said he's coming back, and he said the second half of his career, they're gonna do PBC. They're gonna do what he wants to do. They're gonna do what's right for Adrian Broner's career. Cause I always like to say this, man. Hey, he also said Tank ain't ready for Loma. Yeah. He did say that. He did say that too. AB keeps it real. And I always say this. If Adrian Broner was a cherry picker, AB would be undefeated right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, if AB, he came up 2 weight classes to fight Maidana they didn't want Adrian Broner to take that fight. You know what I'm saying? But AB wanted to take that fight. He wanted, yeah, AB is a nut. You know what I'm saying? But if he was a cherry picker, if AB was fighting all the fights that they want him to fight, AB be undefeated right now. You know what I mean? But he went up being hard-headed and took that fight against Maidana and got his ass whipped, and that fucked him up. I'm saying he don't want to let his hands go after that. You know what I mean? But if AB was a cherry picker, AB would be undefeated, man. I'm saying that's how I always give AB. Always, I'm saying I fuck with AB. I like AB. And absolutely right, boxing needs him. You know what I'm saying? Boxing needs characters like Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? Personalities like Adrian Broner. And I can guarantee y'all, I did a video like this like last year, was Adrian Broner maturing. I can guarantee y'all that the second half of his career is probably gonna be better, and we'll probably see AB start doing better, you know what I'm saying, even outside the ring. You know what I mean? Because AB, he does a lot outside the ring. You know what I'm saying? He donates a lot to charities, and you know what I mean? He's just real outlandish, and you know what I'm saying? He's, you know, but I think he's growing up. You know what I'm saying? AB is a family man. He got mad kids. AB is the man. I fuck with AB. And not just that, he's a fighter. You know what I'm saying? AB don't duck nobody. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard him call out Carnelo and Triple G at middleweight. AB. AB is a nut. But I rock with AB, man. Boxing do need AB. And he's one of the best promoters too. Oh yeah, he's one of the best promoters. I think he must be Tank's manager now. Got his fighters title fights. Yep. He must be Tank's. He must be Tank's manager. Adrian Broner's better fighter than what most people think. His problem, he is not letting his hands go. AB is a beast. But that Maidana fight messed Adrian Broner up, man. After that fight, he didn't want to let his hands go no more. That's what it was. But as far as fighting, yeah, hell yeah, AB could fight. You know what I'm saying? AB throws beautiful combinations. That's the thing. When Adrian Broner lets his hands go, it's a thing of beauty. You know what I'm saying? He throws beautiful combinations. Adrian Broner is a beast. He's better than Mayweather is now. You know what I'm saying? He's better. Yeah, I mean, we don't know how good Mayweather is now. You know what I mean? Mayweather's been out the ring fighting MMA fighters and kickboxers and shit. Now, Adrian Broner is a beast. You know what I'm saying? When he lets his hands go, his combination punching is a thing of beauty. I'm saying, it's just that ooh, that Maidana fight. That Maidana fight. I kind of messed AB up. You know what I mean? But hopefully AB comes back, you know what I'm saying, and they get him some good fights against some fighters his size that he's not scared to let his hands go against. Tank Gamboa, he hurt Maidana in that fight, though. Now, he did hurt Maidana. He did hurt Maidana in that fight. He hurt Maidana a few times in that fight. Yo, I watched that fight. Man, I watched that fight like 2 times, like last month. That was a good fight. You know what I'm saying? That was a real good fight. In the first few rounds, though, yeah, Maidana was putting it to AB, though. When they were in the middle of the ring, AB was putting it on him. But AB, you know, when he was on his back foot and getting backed up into the corner, it wasn't good for him. In the middle of the ring, when he was letting his hands go, he was hitting Maidana with some shit, though. Oh, yeah, AB was hitting Maidana with some shit. But AB is definitely coming back, though. He's coming back. And I can't wait till he comes back. He was supposed to fight the cat that Danny Garcia is fighting, Ivan Rekatch, but I don't know what happened with that fight. Maybe he didn't get the money that he was supposed to get. And Adrian Broner says that PBC, they still owe him money from like his previous fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, then he said they don't give him all his money at one time. Because he was talking about Andy Ruiz. You know what I'm saying? And how Andy Ruiz went crazy when he got the money. He's like, yeah, that's why they don't give me all my money at one time. But he's definitely coming back. You know what I'm saying? He's going to come back at 140. So let's see what happens. They're talking about him against Jose Ramirez. But yeah. We'll see what happens. What do you think about Tank and Gamboa? I actually think that that's a good fight. You know what I mean? I think that that's a good fight. I think Gamboa, if Gamboa still got it, you know what I mean, it'll be a good fight. Probably going to be a shootout, though. So Tank's probably going to end up stopping Gamboa. But I think it's going to be a good fight. It's definitely Tank's biggest test. What do you think about Fury leaving Ben Davison? Oh, his dad was on him about it. Runner she is Ramirez going to move up to fight Bud. Yeah. I keep hearing that a couple of those 140 pounders are going to move up. Fury leaving Ben. Some who saying Moose and salute. Fury leaving Ben, it had to happen because Tyson Fury's dad, he don't like Ben Davison. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, well, all the different shit that Tyson Fury been doing outside the ring is not really helping in the preparation for Deontay Wilder, and I don't think his dad was feeling it. So his dad is like, yo, you got to get rid of this dude, man. What are you guys doing? That's why Floyd should have let Tank take Farmer's belt while Tank was at 135. Yeah, I mean, he should have fought Tevin Farmer, but for some reason they didn't want him to. Oh, because they don't want that WBO belt. You know what I'm saying? Tank is definitely gonna smash Gamboa. I want to see CHARLO versus Jacobs too. CHARLO versus Jacobs. Isn't Jacobs gone up to super middleweight? Farmer was an easy belt grab for Tank. It was an easy belt grab. They don't want that WBO though. Gamboa could still crack though. But yeah, I think Tank is gonna stop him. But Gamboa could still crack. Tank might get hit with some shit. I want to see Boo Boo versus Jamal. Exactly. That's what I want to see. Boo Boo versus Jamal and Chris Eubanks. I did a video. There's a video on my channel saying that all three of those guys need to fight each other. Boo Boo, Jamal, and Chris Eubanks. Those guys need to start doing a round robin with each other. Get some names on their resume. Those 3 names on their resume will be good for all of them. Since guys like Canelo Alvarez and Triple G don't want to fight those guys. You know what I'm saying? Those guys just need to fight each other. You know what I mean? All those fights would be really fan friendly. So I would love to see all of those guys fight each other. Eubanks would beat both of them. I disagree. I highly disagree. Eubanks, I like Chris Eubanks. Eubanks, he needs to come full time to Floyd's gym and stay there and train. You know what I mean? He comes there. He goes to Floyd's gym at Vegas every year for a few months. You know what I mean? And then he goes back home and he has no trainer while he's at home. He needs to stay up here full time and train with the trainers up here. Because Chris Eubank is a good fighter, but even in the fight against Matt Korobov the other night, even though it was like one solid round, I don't even like the way that he looked in the first round, even though I do think that he was going to end up beating Matt Korobov, but I don't like the way that he looked in the first round. Real unsteady. His balance was kind of off. He was reaching with his jab, like lunging too much. Like, you can't make those type of mistakes against Jamal Charlo, nor against Demetrius Andrade. Even though Demetrius Andrade isn't, I think that Chris Eubank has a better chance of beating Demetrius Andrade than he does Jamal Charlo, but I don't know if he beats Boo Boo Andrade. Just because Chris Eubank is an aggressive fighter and he would really push the pace against Boo Boo. So he would force Boo Boo to fight a faster paced fight than Boo Boo is used to fighting. You know what I'm saying? But if Boo Boo sticks to the game plan and just boxes, I think that he outboxes Chris Eubank. Fury is going for the KO against Wilder. He wants to get a trainer in Sugar Hill, Sweets. He trained Adonis Stevenson. Yep, he wants to get a trainer from the Bronx, but I don't know if that's going to be enough in the short amount of time that he has to train for that fight. Because like I said, we're like, what, 2 months away from that fight? But it's nice to see that he went and got a trainer from from the Bronx gym. That's what's up. His dad was on it. His dad wasn't happy with Ben Davison. It's good to see, but I don't think that it'll be enough. I don't really think that it's gonna matter. You know what I mean? Fury's gonna beat him. William Scroggins, Fury's gonna beat him. I don't think that Fury is gonna beat Wilder this time. But we'll see what happens, you know what I mean? That's the beauty of it. That is absolutely the beauty of it. We'll see what happens with it. He took Wilder's best punch and got up. Yeah, he did. He did. Joshua Ortiz. Joshua versus Luis Ortiz? Joshua. William Scroggins Ortiz. I got AJ in that fight, but I think it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be a good fight. Nope, Ortiz knocks him out. You think so? You think Ortiz knocks out AJ? Joshua's unimpressive. You think Ortiz knocks out AJ? Hell yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It'll be a good fight though. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It'll be. He almost knocked out Wilder. Right. Right. And there's footage on my channel. That's like the first video that I ever uploaded actually. There's footage on my channel of the 7th round and the round that Luis Ortiz got knocked out in the first fight. You know what I'm saying? In the arena footage of those 2 rounds. So go and check them out. Whew. Does he knock out AJ though? Is Canelo doing a trilogy with who? With who? Triple G? I have no idea. Does Ortiz knock out AJ though? I don't know if he knocks out AJ. I don't know if he knocks out AJ. Is Canelo doing a trilogy with Triple G? Honestly, they probably will. They probably will in 2020. They probably will. I don't know if Luis Ortiz knocks out. Yeah, knocks him out. Andrew Ruiz will do it again also. Andrew Ruiz, well, all right. The thing is that any of these heavyweights can knock out each other. GGG will get stopped this time. Any of these heavyweights can knock out each other. Andrew Ruiz doesn't knock out Anthony Joshua as long as Anthony Joshua boxes him like he did in the second time. Andrew Ruiz never knocks out Anthony Joshua again in his life. I'm saying as long as Anthony Joshua boxes Andrew Ruiz, it's easy work for Anthony Joshua. The only chance that Andrew Ruiz has of knocking out Anthony Joshua is if Anthony Joshua stands there and trades punches with runs from him. Is if Anthony Joshua stands there and trades punches with Andrew Ruiz. If he does that again, yes, he gets knocked out. But as long as he boxes Andrew Ruiz from long range, Andrew Ruiz never knocks him out. Now, Luis Ortiz, does he knock out Anthony Joshua? I don't know if Luis Ortiz knocks out Anthony Joshua because Luis Ortiz fights at a really slow pace. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think he knocks out Anthony Joshua, though. I mean, the thing is like, you know, since Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz the first time, I think that a lot of people have kind of counted Anthony Joshua out. And then because he didn't come back and knock out Andy Ruiz in the rematch, I honestly think that Anthony Joshua could have knocked out Andy Ruiz. He could have knocked out Andrew Ruiz if he was a little bit more aggressive, you know what I'm saying? But he was just fighting a really conservative, safe fight. But I felt like a few times as he was bouncing around, as soon as he caught that angle on Andrew Ruiz, all he had to do was plant his feet and let go a good 1-2, just like the combination and the punch that cut Andrew Ruiz in the first round. Even with that combination right there, when he hit him with that 1-2 and he made Andrew Ruiz stop in his tracks, Andrew Ruiz's legs buckled a little bit. All AJ had to do was step back and throw another hard 1-2. Do you think that Bud beats anyone from the PBC roster? Yes, Hussein Marston. We talked about that earlier on in the stream. Yes, I think that Bud beats plenty of the PBC fighters. You know what I mean? I think that Bud possibly stops Sean Porter. I think that he stops Keith Thurman, possibly. You know what I mean? I think that Bud can beat all the PBC fighters. I think that his hardest test would be Ugas. Ugas? Maybe, because Ugas would be more of how the fight with how his fight with Mean Machine went this weekend, because Ugas is not an aggressive fighter and good counter puncher, just not aggressive. So but the thing is that Ugas wouldn't be able to. It would be the same result as Mean Machine. Ugas wouldn't be able to keep up with the pace of Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford would end up breaking him down and probably knocking him out. Because Ugas just likes to sit back and wait and counterpunch. You know what I mean? But I think that, so it'll probably look, but Ugas has a good chin. Yeah, but that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just because you have a good chin, that doesn't mean that you can't be stopped. A good chin could be broken too. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's gonna hurt him with one punch, but that's what I'm saying. He would break Ugas down the same way how he broke down Mean Machine. Because Ugas, once Bud turns up the pressure, Ugas can't fight with Bud. He could box with Bud, but Ugas can't fight with Bud. William Scroggins, salute. Thank you for being in the chat. Make sure you join on the next live stream so I can hand you a wrench. Yeah, Ugas won't be able to fight with Bud. Why did Mikey go to Dazin? Because Mikey couldn't get the fights because PBC didn't have nothing for him. I'm not sure when I'm gonna go live again, but the next time I go live, I'll post something in the community a few hours before I go live, so I'll let you guys know. I'm gonna try to start doing more live streams like this. Why did Mikey go to the zone? Because PBC didn't have anything for him. Peace out, William Scroggins. PBC didn't have anything for him. But I don't think it's a long-term contract. I think that Mikey is trying to get the Manny Pacquiao fight, and you know they were trying to make Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia, but Mikey obviously didn't want that fight. You know what I mean? So he probably didn't want the Ugas fight. You know what I mean? So just no good options for him over at PBC. So he had to go sign with the zone to get a few fights. But I think he'll be back with PBC. I think this is just to keep him busy and just to get him some fights. He's supposed to fight Vargas, I think. Yeah, exactly. They have Vargas over there. They have a few welterweights over there. You know what I mean? That Mikey could fight. Who is the best boxer of this decade? Ooh, good question. I was actually about to do a video on that earlier. Manny Pacquiao was in the running for. I read an article that said Manny Pacquiao was in the running for. Yeah, that Manny Pacquiao was in the running for who is the best boxer of this decade. Best boxer of the decade. Which decade would it be? From 2010 to 2020? From 2010 to 2020? From 2020 to, from 2010 to 2020. That's what I'm not a big fan of Ward. I don't know why. That's what I would have to go back and do some research if we're talking about 2020, 2010 to 2020. Floyd, Manny, Andre Ward, because his career was around the 2010s. Whose career? Oh, Andre Ward's career? Yeah, I would have to go back. I mean, Floyd's career spans over 20 years. I'm pretty sure about 20 years, right? Likewise, Manny Pacquiao, because his career was around 2010, is yep. Likewise, Manny Pacquiao. How long is Manny's? I don't know. I would have to. I would have to go and. I would have to go and do some research before I gave that. Before I gave that answer, because I'm not. I can't. I'm not. I can't. I'm not really good with like time spans. So I would have to go and just to make sure. You know what I'm saying, that the time spans were correct. That you're talking about like 2010 to 2020, 2000 to 2010. See, it's time moves so fast. You know what I mean? Like, felt like I was just watching Roy Jones and them yesterday. Floyd wins the money in this. Floyd wins the money and the vision for the fighters to be their own promoters. More than likely. I think it would be Floyd probably 2010 to 2020. I know Floyd did some big shit in that time span. Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, 50 wins. Ray Leonard versus Floyd Mayweather. Oh man. Ray Leonard versus Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. Ray Leonard versus Floyd Mayweather. That's a good fight. Woo. Woof. Yeah, that's hard. That's like saying the Bulls versus the Warriors. Ray Leonard versus Floyd Mayweather. Man. Yeah. Oh man. See that to me that all depends. That all depends. You know, I know a lot of people say Sugar Ray Leonard would beat Floyd, and then you're gonna have people who say Floyd would beat Sugar Ray. To me, it all depends. You know, they say styles make fights. To me, it all depends on. It all depends. You know what I'm saying, on what kind of fight they actually end up fighting. I think that Floyd is a better. When you watch Ray Leonard versus Floyd Mayweather Sr., and every time I bring this up, a lot of people say that Sugar Ray Leonard, he destroyed Floyd Mayweather Sr. But he didn't destroy Floyd Mayweather Sr. It was a 15-round fight, and I think that he stopped Floyd Mayweather Sr. in the 14th round, and Floyd Mayweather Sr. had like a shoulder injury or something. He had some type of injury in that fight. But it was a very good fight. Hold on, give me 1 second, Matt, as Mike Tyson versus Wilder. But Floyd Sr. and Sugar Ray Leonard was a very good fight. And a lot of that fight was fought on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Phone booth type of fight. The hair and hair. Now, to me, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a better inside fighter than his dad was. You know what I mean? So if Sugar Ray Leonard was going to fight Floyd Mayweather just on the inside, I think that Floyd Mayweather wins that matchup. You know what I mean? Because that's how he fought Sugar Ray Sr. Floyd Mayweather Sr. for the whole fight. Pretty much, they were on the inside, and it was, and they just like trading back and forth. Sugar Ray was getting the best of him, but like I said, it wasn't like people just say that Sugar Ray Leonard destroyed Floyd Sr., but he didn't really destroy him. You know what I'm saying? In a 15-round fight, I think he stopped him in the 14th. But I think Floyd had a shoulder injury in that fight, like I said. But I think that if Sugar Ray Leonard, and we know that Sugar Ray Leonard, he was known for not fighting the right game plan all the time. You know what I'm saying? Just how he lost against Roberto Duran, going in there and trying to do the same thing, stand up on the inside and fight with Roberto Duran. So I feel like if he did that with Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a better inside fighter. You know what I'm saying? But if he kept it at long range to mid range, I think he'd make it really difficult for Floyd with his hand speed and his volume of punching. But if he wanted to just sit on the inside, I think that Floyd would beat him there. You know what I mean? Mid range to long range. I think that he makes it difficult. But like I said, it's a good fight. 50-50 fight, man. It all depends on who on which style of fight they fight. Mike Tyson versus Deontay Wilder. Oof. Which Mike Tyson? Which Mike Tyson? What about Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather versus Pernell Whitaker at 135? I think Floyd. I think Floyd at 135 gets Pretty Boy. I mean, gets Pernell Whitaker. Iron Mike versus Deontay Wilder. Iron Mike, young Iron Mike. No. Young Iron Mike destroys Deontay Wilder. Young Deontay Wilder would never hit him. Oh shit. What's your opinion on T Bud versus Pac-Man? Yeah, Wilder never hits a young Iron Mike. Never even hits him. You know what I'm saying? Not this dude's head movement, his feet, his head movement. Wilder never. It'll be bad. It'll be bad. In no disrespect to Wilder, you know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson was just. I mean, Iron Mike is like one of my favorite fighters of all time, and he was just a phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? Like if man, it's hard to explain, but if you go back and just watch like some of Mike Tyson's training, and not even just the training, like some of the shit that he did in the ring was just like, yo, Wilder would never hit him. Wilder would never hit him. Wilder be throwing a punch. Mike Tyson would be like almost behind him, knocking him out. So he had it all. Yeah. It's scary. You know what I'm saying? Wilder wouldn't. Nah, Mike Tyson would kill him. I mean, the body punching combination to head. Yeah, it'd be nasty. It'd be ugly. Sorry, I'm just tuning in, but in your opinion, T Bud versus Manny Pacquiao, especially now after seeing T Bud's last performance and getting knocked down early in the fight. All right, so Manny Pacquiao. Let's talk about the Manny Pacquiao that just fought Keith Thurman, because we obviously know that Manny is getting older. But I always say the Manny Pacquiao that fought Keith Thurman, because we don't know how Manny is gonna look in his next fight. You know what I'm saying? He's getting older. He's already past 40. So let's talk about Manny, the Manny that fought Keith Thurman, because he still looked really good against Keith Thurman. I think that Manny Pacquiao gives any welterweight problems. But I think that Terence Crawford would give Manny Pacquiao problems too. You know what I'm saying? Bud could punch, and Bud is a dog, and Bud could take a punch. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't mind getting hit. That, like I said, ultimately may be his downfall. You know what I'm saying? His want and his need to stand in there and trade punches and hit you after you hit him. You know what I'm saying? That may ultimately be his downfall. But Bud versus Manny Pacquiao was a good fight. You know what I'm saying? I think that Bud, the Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman, I think that Bud possibly beats Manny Pacquiao, because we got to remember in that fight, Manny started to slow down a little bit, and Keith Thurman started to hit him with some real good shots, but Manny just never let Keith Thurman take advantage. I think Usyk would be the hardest fight for Wilder right now. He can move side to side. He throws a lot of punches. He can disrupt Wilder's right hand. Usyk. Usyk. I think Wilder knocks Usyk out. I think Wilder knocks Usyk out cold. Yeah, Usyk may be able to outbox him for a couple rounds and outpoint him for a couple rounds, but I think that Wilder knocks Usyk out. You know what I mean? Because the thing with Wilder is that it's like, is Usyk gonna go the whole fight without being touched? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that Usyk could take Wilder's right hand. You know what I'm saying? So is Usyk gonna fight the whole fight without being touched? But we don't know if he can take a punch from a heavyweight. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that right now guys like Derek Chisora give Usyk problems. You know what I'm saying? I think that guys like Derek Chisora give Usyk problems. You know what I mean? So yeah, Usyk can move and Usyk could, he's a good boxer and everything, but how will he fare against those heavyweights that could punch? You know what I'm saying? And that could take his punch. That's the biggest thing with me, with me about Usyk. You know what I'm saying? No doubt he could fight. I think that Wilder stretches him though, because he would have to you got to go the whole fight. You know what I mean? You got to go the whole fight against Wilder without getting touched, and I don't know if Usyk would be able to do it. I really don't. I don't know if Usyk would be able to do it. But I like Usyk versus Chisora, honestly. I like Usyk versus Chisora. I think that's an interesting fight, and they're talking about making that fight, so I like that fight. Khan versus Bradley at 140. Amir Khan versus Timothy Bradley. Amir Khan versus Timothy Bradley. That'll be a good fight. That'll be a good fight. Because, Amir Khan got a glass chin, but Timothy Bradley, he wasn't the greatest power puncher of all. But I don't know. Timothy Bradley might knock Amir Khan out. Ali versus Lennox Lewis. Ali versus Lennox Lewis. Ali outboxes Lennox Lewis. And maybe he maybe even knocks Lennox Lewis out. Ali would have been too fast for Lennox. You think Lennox Lewis beats Ali? Ali would have been too fast for him. Too fast. Too fast for him. He'd have been bouncing in and out on Lennox. He would have been too fast for Lennox. He'd have had Lennox head doing it. He'd have been bouncing. Nah, I think Ali would have been too much for Lennox. Amir Khan versus Bradley at 140. Amir King Khan. Lewis is big though. I think Ali beats him but not stops him. Yeah, Lewis is big, but I mean, when Ali start hitting him with those combinations, Ali start throwing that jab over the top and then come back with that little uppercut from underneath. I can see him dropping Lennox with a 3-piece. Ali was a combination puncher. He could punch. I could see him dropping Lennox with a 3-piece. And maybe not knocking him out cold though, because the few times he was knocked out, it was knocked out cold by big right hands. Well, no, he got up from Oliver McCall, but he couldn't continue. He was done. Thing stretched him. Hakeem Rahman stretched him. But he stretched the shit out of Hakeem Rahman too. Now I could see Ali hitting Lennox with some good combinations though. Just lighting his head all up. But yeah, man. So we got Terence Crawford versus the PBC welterweights. I told y'all I think that Terence Crawford fares very well against all PBC welterweights. I don't think that he's an underdog to any of them. We got Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko in the near future. We'll see what happens. And JERMELL CHARLO versus Tony Harrison 2 this weekend. I'm very, very, very excited about that fight. You guys look out for my pre-fight breakdown and prediction on Tony Harrison, the WBC 154-pound champion, defending this weekend against the former champion JERMELL CHARLO. I will try to go live for that fight. I'm excited about that fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. Yeah, we're going to end the stream. I got to go pick up my son, Jelani, the ninja. Go pick him up from school, take him to get his hair cut. You know what I mean? He want to get his hair cut today, so yeah. Hey, salute to everybody who joined the stream. Matt S, salute. Husan, Musin, salute. Necessary, salute. Let's see who else was in there. William Scroggin, Matt S. Everybody salute, man. Best of the best, salute. DT3, the Boomman, salute. Everyone salute. Everyone who joined the live stream. Javon Carter, salute. Raw Side, salute. Everyone who joined the live stream, salute. We're going to end the stream, man. Go get to the rest of the day. We got more videos dropping later on, so look out for them. Like I said, JERMELL CHARLO versus Tony Harrison. Pre-fight breakdown and prediction coming soon. Probably not today, but that video will be coming soon. But more uploads will be coming today, so you guys look out for those. Thank you guys for being a part of the stream. Smash on the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Donation links are in the description of the video if you want to donate to the channel. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal links are there. Super Chats are live, but I'm ending the stream now, so if you want to donate to the channel, like I said, Cash App link, Venmo, PayPal. You guys know what we say at Real Life Boxing. Keep fighting your fight and protect yourself at all times. Peace and one blessed love to everyone who joined the stream. Appreciate you. Yeah. Boom.